I think it's bullshit that somebody says, I wouldn't return a call for 3 weeks. There, that's inaccurate.
So Don Sweeney and Jeremy Swayman, will they finally be able to come together and reach an agreement? Sweeney had a press conference today, and there were some interesting snippets in there that I do want to talk about. So let's get right into it.
Jeremy Swayman will not be in attendance tomorrow on the ice. He has chosen to wait, and rightfully so, till a contract is settled. It's our intention to continue to negotiate a contract. I'm disappointed that when you set things as a priority in a general manager spot, that you do your best to try and accomplish that, and I haven't been able to do that yet. But I will make everybody aware that some of the inconsistencies that have been reported are completely inaccurate. And I think that being a representative of the Bruins, how we do business and try and keep things close to the vest and respect everybody's own privacy, that I'll answer questions, but I'm not going to go into depth of the negotiation and the talks we had. Because we're excited about the players that are here and looking to move forward.
So basically, Don Sweeney is saying that Bissonnette is full of shit in a very polite Don Sweeney manner. Now, this isn't really anything unusual if you've been following the Bruins for years. They do tend to keep things very close to the vest, and that's just the nature and how they work things. So if you've been a Bruins fan or followed the team for a while, you kind of understand this is really nothing unusual when it comes to this negotiation.
As I said, I'm disappointed. By the end of the day, I'm optimistic because I think we'll find a landing spot before December 1st. I'll continue to work every day. It's not unlike, David Pastrnak and Charlie McAvoy and Brandon Carlo. They've been longtime Boston Bruins. It's a process that seemingly, every year there's a few players, and this is the year that we have one. But I have to continue to do my job. I have to respect, the position that Jeremy and his camp has taken, and continue to try and find common ground.
I hate to go back to what inaccuracies are bothering you. You mentioned them a couple of times now. What specifically inaccuracies are
Go ahead and ask me a specific one. If you got knowledge of it, like that we haven't offered an 8-year deal, or we haven't, we're not willing to compromise, or we haven't moved on things. Like, at the end of the day, I'm not talking about specifics. You're just not gonna get it. But, the fact, I did reference one, as a matter of fact. I think it's bullshit that somebody says, I wouldn't return a call for 3 weeks.
Damn!
There, that's inaccurate. Was
Damn.
it written? Was it said? Was it written?
that one? I'm not sure.
I love that. I love that fire and passion for Don Sweeney. I think that's tremendous. I'll let this run out.
I will tell you, I don't listen to podcasts. I said my son loves biz. Thinks he's fabulous. He's a great entertainer. Okay? But at the end of the day, they're inaccurate. And that's okay, because that's all part of the business nowadays. It's okay if you turn around and say it's your opinion or your belief and such, but don't report it as fact.
Fair.
That's all. That's all I'm asking.
Chevy Equinox.
Fair. That's a very, very, very fair point from Sweeney. I would definitely feel some level of frustration if something was reported as a fact when it was nowhere near close to being the truth. So I would say this does kind of indicate that dealing Ullmark, and I understand for cap implications to open up some cap space, this makes it look worse and worse as time goes on, because let's say Swayman held out. At least you have a guy like Ullmark to go to that you feel like, okay, he can easily be the number one. He's one of the better goalies in all of the NHL. Yeah, we feel comfortable even if Swayman decides to hold out, that we can kind of, hold the fort, just continue to play at a very good level. Now with Korpisalo being the guy, you feel a little bit less confident in that as a Bruins fan. I know I do, and that's just not to knock Korpisalo, but let's just call it what it is. Like, that's a massive drop-off from guys like Ullmark and Swayman. And maybe this allows like a guy like Bussy to come in and claim his spot as maybe a viable number 2 option at the NHL level. Maybe he comes in and kills it. The Bruins organization view him very highly. DiPietro has also salvaged his career with the Boston Bruins. So maybe with the Swayman holdout, this allows some prospects and younger players to have a greater opportunity to, showcase that, hey, that we are viable NHL options and we can be very good in our own right. This is a black eye, in my opinion, when it comes to how Sweeney handled this. Again, it doesn't make much sense to deal Ullmark if you're not sure you can kind of iron things out with Swayman. And who knows, maybe before the season even starts, they figure out a deal. I hope that turns out to be true. But if he holds out and they ultimately end up not being able to work out a deal, this won't look good for the Bruins. Some of the reports, don't know how true or untrue they are. I mean, do I think Swayman, number that was thrown out, $8.5 million per year, do I think he's that type of goalie? I think he can be, but I don't think he's justified that price tag yet. He is yet to prove that he can be, by himself, the pure number one goalie. It is a completely different vibe when you are the guy. With Ullmark and Swayman, it's been a nice 1-2 punch, 1A, 1B, and it allowed each goalie to rest. Will Swayman be able to hold up with the amount of games he'll play as the bona fide number one? Will he be able to stay healthy at 50, 60 plus games? We do not know. Now, you hope so as a Bruins fan, but we're going into some uncharted territory here with Swayman. I'm not saying that he can't be a superstar level goalie. We saw what he was capable of in the playoffs. He was absolutely fantastic. The only reason why the Bruins advanced even from the first round and kind of kept it close at parts against the Florida Panthers. But right now, do I view him as a guy deserving more than Shesterkin, who has won a Vezina, who has been amazing, more deserving of that money of a guy like Hellebuck? I mean, no, he hasn't proven it yet. Does he have the potential? Absolutely. I love a lot of the things I've seen from Swayman in his development. He's made constantly, every single year, he's improved. But do you want to pay a guy like that a ridiculous cap hit and then turn out to be regretting that deal later on? I don't know. But we'll see how things play out. If Korpisalo is the number one goalie on this roster to start out the season, it's definitely not a great look. You're hoping that maybe with the Bruins team defense, they can make him look better. But again, hopefully the Bruins are able to iron something out, because if they lose Ullmark and Swayman, it would go down as one of the worst trades in recent memory with Ullmark. And just, wouldn't be a good look on Sweeney. But I'd like to know your thoughts down below in the comment section. What have you thought about this whole back and forth in the media with the Sweeney and Swayman? What did you think about the Paul Bissonnette report that turned out to be, in Sweeney's words, bullshit? And do you think that Swayman will ultimately sign with the Bruins for a long term, or maybe a bridge deal will happen? Let me know your thoughts. I'm Captain Paul. I'll see you in the next one.